Next, Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us now with the very latest. Ivan, is there any end in sight?
Well, there's always an end in sight, Elliot. Unfortunately, it's not going to come soon enough for us here. We'll be here all night covering this because I think that's the potential to really just continue to be a life-threatening event through the overnight hours. And I just got a new model run from our rain tracker, and it's not good news. So let's hang in there, and we'll get through this event. But it's going to take all night to do so. Look at the rain that continues here, all being driven by this area of low pressure, now located essentially across the middle and upper Keys. And yes, it is a similar entity, right? And it's certainly the exact results you would get from a tropical storm. It's not fully tropical. We've got boundaries and fronts attached to it, but still we are looking at some very heavy rainfall with tropical storm force wind gusts. That's what we've been dealing with here. 30, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts down through Ocean Reef, and the rain continues to pivot in from the Atlantic here, and that is going to be a self-sustaining feature through the overnight with that low. We're going to continue to get these very heavy rain bands that are going to come in along the coast, and as they crash along the coast, we get additional moisture that's going to be squeezed out of the atmosphere. This is the flood warning that expires the earliest here. This is at 11:30. We have flash flood warnings now that have been extended for Miami-Dade and into Broward, and I'll take you through here again. This till 6 a.m. They have been extending it more and more as the model runs continue to come in, and of course as we take a look at radars as well, and showing us that the rain just is not letting up. Unfortunately, this was going to expire at 1 now, an extra 5 hours of potentially heavy rainfall here as we continue through the north and up to the county line. Essentially everybody under the gun here for additional flooding. Not everyone is going to see life-threatening flooding, but some areas could possibly see that, so you have to pay attention to the weather alerts you're likely getting on your phone. And if you have to evacuate, that is a situation that we're in. There is no flash flood emergency, but if the National Weather Service starts seeing the depiction of even heavier rainfall, 6, 8 inches, we're going to start getting into that. Tropical storm force wind gusts, as I mentioned, and this is the latest run from Rain Tracker here. Notice now we continue with rainfall. It was going to end anywhere from 1 to 3 a.m., but now you can see the moisture just continuing to kind of pivot in and get us with additional heavy rainfall. The potential here for another ½ a foot tonight across many areas is certainly there, and you can see that continuing through 5 a.m., just not letting up. That is a worst case scenario. I hope that doesn't come to pass, because this is the kind of setup here where you start training rain over the same area, and we've already dumped a good 5 to as much as 12 inches of rain on the ground, so we can't take any more. And in addition to that, of course, as Elliot mentioned, we have the king tides, and the Virginia Key tidal gauge is already at moderate flood stage. So that has also transpired here. So everything's just combining for what will be a very long night for us. This area of low pressure will finally begin to lift. As I showed you there on Rain Tracker, this will improve through the midday hour on Thursday. In fact, the heaviest rain will be in much better shape by the time we get into, say, 8, 9 o'clock. And then we turn much, much drier. But boy, that weekend feels like whiles away, because we're going to continue with this rain through the morning hours, diminishing rain as we head through the afternoon, and then we'll be done with this by the time we get into 3 o'clock, although by then some of us could be looking at 12 to 15 inches of rainfall on the ground. Just an incredible event from a system that doesn't have a name. We typically get this kind of rainfall from a tropical storm, but this one is not fully tropical, but it's doing the same deal to us here with very heavy rainfall and some strong winds as well. There is the forecast for the rest of the weekend here, for the rest of the week. Into the weekend we go with much drier conditions here. 10% coverage, that would be about it. So it will continue to be dry for both Saturday and Sunday and heading into early next week. But the dry stretch will not get here soon enough. It's going to be, again, as I mentioned, a long night. We'll keep you posted if we get additional warnings, but we have about as high warning as you can get. Flash flood warnings for Broward, Miami-Dade, portions of the northern Keys, upper Keys, as we head into 6 a.m. That's when it expires now.
All right, Ivan, thank you.